are the two characters disagreeing about right now? And let's wait for a second so we can talk.
That's a D, by the way. So I make my D's. I usually write like D's.
So you have one word, can you tell me more than that?
Fish.
So while some of us are finishing up, what is the disagreement? Why do they have different opinions about this situation? Tell me about it.
What's her name? Angela? Lena?
Letha?
Letha? No, not Letha. Natalie.
Natalie and Zoe. Natalie and Zoe, on these 2 pages, Gavin, on these 2 pages, they disagree about something.
That like Natalie wants her to like speed things Zoe wants to speed things up and get her to read the book, and then Natalie said like she wants to like wait and like just like keep it slow or whatever and wait till she wants to read it.
Yeah, add on to that, Gavin.
See like something happened.
With what? Tell me more about that.
Like something happened and probably we could prepared and speeding up.
Oh, okay, so you're saying, you're kind of inferring Zoe is rushing, but Natalie's trying to be maybe more careful. She's trying to make sure she's
She
ready.
doesn't get caught.
Tell me more about that. Not wanting to get caught.
Because if she goes up there like this one might be pretty good, and her mom might think she hasn't read it yet, and she might be suspicious about like why she wants her to read that specific one.
Because right
So
now,
she might be afraid of getting caught.
she's scared, they're scared of getting caught doing what?
Trying to get the book published.
Who do you think is more scared at this point?
Natalie.
Do you think Natalie too? You 3 say Natalie is more nervous.
Miss Clayton.
Miss Clayton. Between Zoe and Natalie, just based on these 2 pages, who seems to be a little more cautious or careful?
Natalie.
Why? Can you find me, everybody find me right now, an exact example and point to it?
No.
Tell me a quote.
I have some.
That's okay. I just wanted the writing to get you started thinking. Find me an exact quote that tells me your opinion, that Natalie is being more careful. It could be a paragraph.
Done.
So once you find it, point to it. There might be a lot of sections.
Has it been a minute?
Did you find one, Gavin?
I'm nervous. We need to change those. What?
We've everybody pointing to a part in their book that shows us why we think Natalie is being more careful than Zoe. So you could find a part where Zoe is rushing. That would prove your point. Okay. Kaden, where's your section? Read it to us.
Natalie smiles, but she talks in a serious voice. She wanted Zoe to calm down. No, I think better just let things move ahead on their own. If there's no action in a week or so, then maybe we can call her again.
You found that too, Gavin?
Yeah.
Okay, so did anybody else point to them? Did you? So tell us why that proves that Natalie's trying to be slow about this. She's careful.
She doesn't want her to slow down or calm down.
She does or doesn't? She does. So she's asking Zoe, what? Slow down? Slow down with what? What do you mean slow down?
Like slow down with trying to get the book published.
Okay.
Things don't just happen.
Yeah, you're right.
Work out.
And so we're inferring that maybe she's nervous about getting caught, Kaden said. What about just their personalities? They're just kind of both really different personalities, right? Zoe's kind of a little more gutsy, I would say.
I like this book because it's kind of like a book inside a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you think? This is just another quick thing I want you to do a writing piece on, just like a sentence. Why? Oh, tell me about your entrance, and then we'll do a quick writing.
I bet that when we're reading the book.
So you think right now that the book we're reading is the book that they published?
Yeah, later on.
You've seen some movies making connections. Have you seen any like movies or read other books where that's been the case? Sometimes they do that. That's like a writing tactic where you could have a movie that the whole time this was the story they were telling. That's a good prediction. Yes. Oh, okay. That's a good connection. Okay, so going back to this idea, we've talked a little bit about
That's
characters.
why they have narrators and so on.
Mhm. We've talked about our characters' foundations. What do I mean by a character's
Stand by me.
foundation?
I haven't
Did
read
you
it.
guys all these connections? Why don't you list these on your chart and your connections?
I
Just write that
have
down.
not
For what?
For what? Tell
I've
me
not
more.
read a book with a narrator.
Okay. Tell me about Stand By Me. You just said Stand By Me. Does that make you think of this book? That it's like the whole story has been the person telling the story? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Good.
can just
We kind of end up finding that like at the end of a movie too, usually, right? Sometimes it's like has been a surprise that you've seen it that whole time. Great connection. You write that down so I remember to see that in your thing. So you guys are having all these ideas
What, Stand By Me?
even before you're having great ideas. I want you to list them now.
What's the movie? What's the movie? What's the movie?
You just said Stand By Me.
Isn't Stand By Me that one movie that they're making about that girl and the guy that
No.
Oh.
Okay.
What was
It's
the
an old
movie?
movie.
Huh?
It's an old movie.
All right. Here's my last thing. I'm so glad you've made all these connections, so keep listing those in your chart. I want you to write this down for me. I want you to think back to what we said about a character's foundation. So what in their life is making them a certain way?
Spider-Man.
Hold on, attention's here. A character's foundation makes them act or think a certain way. So pick either Zoe or Natalie and tell me what you could infer about their foundation, about their past, about their family life, about their personality, something about their foundation that is making them act this way. Because we're saying Natalie's careful and cautious and sensible. Zoe's a little more out there and gutsy and kind of just not careful, right? Pick one of them and tell me why. Why are they like that, do you think? So if you're choosing Natalie, you could try to think, what in her foundation has caused her to be very careful? Maybe there's something that's happened to her in her past that has made her be very practical and think things through. What might that be? Who are you going to write about? Just a sentence or two. So you're doing Natalie. What are you going to do? Okay, so tell me, write down her name, tell me why you think she is the way she is. I mean, why, what can we infer about her past or her foundation that has led her to be who she is right now? Write that down. And tell me why you think that would make her be more careful. That's a really, really strong inference, Gavin. Good.